Coach Katie here, and today I want to talk to you about expectations. Expectations, friend or foe? I mean, just think about how expectations play a role in your life. As human beings, it's natural for us to expect things, to expect some return on our effort, on our love, on our care. Yet, when we start to allow our expectations or our unmet expectations to determine the quality of our life, then it's time to really look at how we can manage our expectations, how to take a deeper look at what expectations really are serving for us, what they really mean for us. Because it's not just about, I do this one thing and I expect this back. There's a deeper transaction that we are hoping to receive that we inside ourselves can actually fulfill for ourselves. So, what am I saying? So, imagine a time when you had high expectations and you were disappointed. I would say that a lot of times in relationships, we have expectations that oftentimes really affect us emotionally when we expect something of our partner. Heck, imagine like in the very beginnings of dating somebody, we have expectations, right? And as women, we have a tendency to, we have a great date and then we expect the guy to text us back right away or to initiate or to be all, in engaged, right? And in the gap between the waiting and that waiting, what happens? We fill that gap with all our stories, our limiting beliefs, our assumptions, because we don't like the vulnerability of the unknown. We don't like the vulnerability or the discomfort of not knowing what's happening. That. So think about, where in your life do you have a tendency to hold on to an attachment to an outcome? Where in your life do you try to control the most in order to achieve a particular outcome, in order to avoid the pain of something not happening? And so when I ask the question, expectations, friend or foe, obviously expectations can screw us. They are predetermined resentment. They have a tendency, one of my previous mentors, Christine Hassler, calls it an expectation hangover. And it feels just like that. It's tough because you get so high and you're living in the future is really what we're doing when we think about, okay, when this happens, I'm going to have this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to feel this, this is what's going to happen. And then we go down that that road that hasn't even happened yet. So we're creating a future in our mind that hasn't happened yet. So if it doesn't happen, then of course, naturally, we're going to become very disappointed. But it's about looking at, what is it exactly that you are hoping to receive from that thing that you're hoping to get back from someone or something. So yes, they can be our foe. They can really cripple us in life. They can, I mean, imagine those times when the person you were dating didn't fulfill your expectations, or your relationship didn't fulfill your expectations. It takes us down. So what I'd like to share with you is a way to be more resilient in our expectation hangovers, to be more resilient in our disappointments, so that we can show up authentically when we want something, because there's nothing worse than wanting something so bad that you're so obsessed about it and you're holding on for dear life for it to happen. Again, relationships is a perfect example. When you're waiting for that guy to text you back because you want to date with him on Friday night and you think that's what's going to happen. So you're waiting there and you're in your head. We're in our head. We're future tripping. We're worrying about what is or isn't happening, rather than just showing up wholehearted and real and authentic, which is really the key to most of everything that we want. It's like chasing a cat down an alley. Have you ever tried? And when I try to grab my cat and clip his nails, he resists. But if I'm just like, if I don't care as much about whether his nails get clipped or not, it's actually not as hard. So when we have a resistance to something not happening, we have a tendency to repel what it is that we actually want. Does that make sense? So when we have a resistance to letting go of an outcome, meaning we're having so much control over something, then what ends up happening ultimately is that we repel that thing that we actually want. So the more we want it, the less we're actually going to get it. So how do we detach? How do we stay highly engaged, like putting all our effort in and not putting up the walls or the protection, but yet stay detached as much as possible without pretending that we don't care, which is swinging on the other side to fear? How do we do that? That's the magic combination, to be highly engaged and unattached. So again, it's looking at expectations as a way to learn about yourself. They can become our friend, they can become our teachers. So what is it about that thing that you want, the guy that you want to call you back, the job that you want to have, the salary that you want to make, the how much money you want to make this month, the number of clients or the kind of clients that you're drawing in? What is that all going to do for you? And if the answer is, I'm waiting for this to happen so that I can feel good enough, so I can feel validated, so I can give myself permission to live the life of my dreams, do the things that I want. If I have a partner, then I can actually start my business because I'll have someone to lean on. Or as long as I make this amount of money in my business this month, then I know for sure that I can go to the next level, rather than just creating permission within yourself without that outcome actually happening. So looking at our expectations as a way for us to heal the things inside of us that don't feel enough, that don't feel complete. It's the confidence, it's the worthiness. That do you have to have something in order to feel worthy or good enough or seen or heard or validated? So again, circling back to self-love, that expectations, the proportion to which our expectations run us is really the invitation for us to love ourselves. The more you're attached to an outcome, the more you control it, the more that your emotions are attached to it, the more that it runs your state of being, the more it's an invitation for you to look inside yourself and find and ask yourself, what has me not believing that I'm enough already? If I get this, I'll have this feeling inside of me, rather than truly bringing the feeling up already just from our very being, knowing that those qualities already live inside you. You just have to give yourself permission. And if you bring those qualities of being to the surface, the worthiness, the confidence, and everything that you have to offer, your confidence in what you have to give, you come from that energy, then that's what attracts the outcome that you actually want. So, my invitation to you is to think about your expectations in terms of letting go of those 3D expectations and transmuting them to inspiration, transmuting them to intention. What is my intention? My intention is to live from passion today, to create from passion. My intention is to contribute. My intention is to be courageous. My intention is to be flirty and fun, instead of waiting for something else outside of us to determine the outcome. Because when we do that, we end up feeling anxious and disempowered and helpless and aggravated and impatient. And this is a way for you to take control of your life and your destiny. So, what can you do to manage your expectations by just giving more love to yourself, by seeing yourself and reminding yourself how enough you really are? And if you would like support in this and really looking at the things that are in your way of truly loving yourself and knowing that you're enough, knowing is different than believing, because when we actually believe it, those expectations fall away. We still have them, but we aren't run by them. So if this is something that resonates with you and you are done living by expectation, or delaying your happiness based on what's happening or what's not happening, having expectation hangover after expectation hangovers, and that affecting the way you show up in your life, in your career, in your business, in your relationships, because you're so afraid that things are going to happen over and over again that you sabotage relationships. This is something that we can work on. So drop a comment if this resonates. Reach out to me. My website is below. There's also a free workshop that I'm hosting on November 22nd to help open up some of these things for you. And you will walk away feeling a sense of empowerment and confidence that will allow you to move through your goals with flow rather than with anticipation, expectation, and anxiety. So I hope that helps you all today. If you resonated with this video, please like and subscribe to my channel and share this with as many people as you think need to hear this. And I hope you all enjoyed today, and I will talk to you all very soon. Bye-bye.